Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Baltimore Ravens. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the run, watch the run. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald able to record his 5th sack of the season. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball in the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
180. 54. Crunch time, defense. Red,
This time, Trubisky will throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. To return is Roberts. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
56. It's just me and you. It's just
Ito Smith, his first carry. He's got a 1st down and more past the 30. And finally taken down at the 36-yard line. 17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. So after the run for 10. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Joker, 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 Joker.
Now they try the right side here. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Tackle made by the second-round pick, Isaiah Oliver.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now a handoff working right. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Play action. It's Trubisky. Got his target, Samuel. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, The action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Come on, man. Let's go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Bridgewater. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Bridgewater again. Short throw underneath to Hurst. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a 1st here on 3rd down. From the gun, Bridgewater. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. The 3rd down run gets them nothing. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run with.
He's going to fire one deep over. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A big play there. His 1st touchdown of the year as the Ravens push further out in front. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. Around the NFL, 2nd quarter in Indianapolis. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Mike, 50 seconds. All right,
from the shotgun. It's Bridgewater. Caught by Jones. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. To the air again with Bridgewater. That's complete to Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Trubisky. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. He's going deep for Brown. He's got a man complete. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, as the first half is winding down, as the Ravens push further out in front. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Final play of the half, Bridgewater. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Rush in. Rush in.
And they give this time to the tailback. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here now Roberts. So a change of possession here on the punt.
At their own 22-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Oh, it's intercepted. Who's trying to get it to Ridley? Picked off here to 29. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And he's got this one down to the 10. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Play action. Now Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Well, they only had a yard to go. They try to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies, and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot. They dialed up the pressure and got to him.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Bridgewater looking deep for Julio. And got his man complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 39 yards there, a big one. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Bridgewater now from the 50. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. On play action, it's Bridgewater. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Harold Landry came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Bridgewater now. He's got Smith here. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that will get him one closer. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost not. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky as the Ravens push further out in front. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Or not so fast.
No, not at all, because they end up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
This fielded at the 2. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Bridgewater, and some room to work. Breaks through the contact. There he goes, right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense got.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harold Landry picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
53, Mike.
It's a gain of 23 yards. And a Falcon first down.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing, Bridgewater. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
4th down now after a loss of 2. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Bridgewater to throw for it on 4th. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. And to give this time to the tailback. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll go down at the 28. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And some room to maneuver. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. Stays on his feet. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right?
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out. But for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
I almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Ravens, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6.